Hello everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Bob Plays Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts on Legendary difficulty. I'm Bobtheorc, and today we are going to refit a captured ship. Now, a lot of people have told me that I do a pretty good job refitting ships and building cool ships, and I want to show you kind of my hack for getting this done very quickly. So, let's go to our shipyard. Whoops. Here we have a captured Missouri-class battleship. The Americans were nice enough to give me a couple of these ships when they surrendered. And the problem is, this isn't really quite what I'm looking for. It's kind of slow, and it's got small guns, and it's kind of lopsided, and it's just not really... This thing's kind of awful. But it's big. And I need some big ships. Because I need I need like a command ship or something for my for one of my fleets. So let's go refit this, and the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go clear everything off. We don't need any of that. So what I want to do, I like my ships fast and tough, so we want to go maximum bulkheads, minimum beam, and this one I'm going to give it a lot of draw because I want it to have a lot of floatability. Don't need a lot of range because it's just going to be sitting off the coast of England causing trouble. And I want it to go 25 knots because my other ships in the fleet are going to go at least 25 knots. So I don't want this guy to be stuck lagging behind. So a lot of times I'll try to decide doctrinally on a minimum speed that I want my capital ships to go. So let's think about it. So I want to go with geared turbines. We'll give it auxiliary engine, hydraulic. I mean, some of these others are nice, but then they're complicated and they can cause problems. We'll just go with hydraulic steering. Good enough. Go better armor. We'll give it a little bit of anti-torpedo, some double hull, reinforced bulkheads, some anti-flood, and some citadel. So we're just going to kind of beef it up a little bit. So first and foremost, we want guns. I want the biggest guns I can put on this thing, which would be the 14s, but these are Mark 1s, and that's kind of crap. But the 13s are Mark 3, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to go stick on a 13-inch gun. We're going to go down here and make it a 13.9. So it's almost as good as a 14, but if you look at it, this thing has a range of 31 kilometers on high explosive. This has a range of 18, 1700, 18, almost 1900 damage, and this thing does almost as much damage, right? It's almost as good. But at 10,000 meters, 2% versus 1%, it's way more accurate. And then also we have a 100-second reload time, which isn't great. So, but it'll fire faster, so it's going to get half again as many shots. So we're going to go with these. And let's go stick some of you guys on here. There we go. Alright, so main tower, I want whatever the best tower is, 6,300 spotting. These are all less. I want the maximum spotting range, so let's go put you up there. And we're going to give it conic 3. I don't really want the stereo. I want the conic because a lot of times we end up in a brawl and we're fighting up close. We'll get radio. Let's give it cordite and TNT. Go with cap ballistic for maximum armor penetration. We'll go soft cap, maximum high explosive shells, heavy shells, and maximum ammo. Because this guy's got to have some staying power. Let's give it some barbettes because we don't want our guns to blow up. So this is kind of like, base of our ship, right? And then let's give it some funnels. We'll go with these large exhaust funnels because they're compact and we can kind of go stick a few of these in here. So that's not bad. We got 25 knots. We got our 100%, and let's go with kind of a. These are about the same accuracy. We're just going to go with the smaller tower just to save a little bit of weight. And this is all kind of too far forward, I think. So we're going to end up probably moving some of this back just to balance it. As far as secondary guns, so if we these are Mark IIs, these are Mark IIIs, so we're going to go with the Mark IIIs, and we're going to make these a 3.9. That way they're almost as good as the 4-inchers, but these are Mark IIIs as opposed to Mark IIs. So we'll go stick some of you boys on, and we'll just kind of populate these different little spots. That won't fit there. So this is good enough. We got these little spots, but I think these can only do 2-inch guns. So we'll get a couple of 2-inchers down here, and we'll go max these out also. There we go. These have good firing arcs. These got good. Yeah, everybody's got good firing arcs. All right, so this is pretty reasonable, but it's still, this pitch and roll is kind of garbage. So let's go with like a 6-inch deck, and that stabilizes things. Let's go with like a 16-inch belt. That's not bad. So now we've got these under in the blue under 25%. I could move some of these back, or I could no, we're not going to really be able to put anything. I could put like can maybe put a couple of, I wonder if we could put some secondary guns back here. No, that'll be kind of wobbly. I don't like that so much. So I could put, because if I just put a secondary gun right in the middle, these boats are getting in the way, which is sort of awkward and annoying. And I could put them like over here. That's not the end of the world. And is it gonna let me put? It won't let me put any barbettes along the sides. So I could put a secondary gun further back. To be honest, mostly I just want this guy's to take care of enemy battleships, so I just want to be big and chunky. So let's go move you back a bit. Yeah, so you still have good firing arcs. And we're just going to go move you boys back. Alright, so you've got good firing angles. He's got good firing angles. He's got very good firing angles. What I might do is I might put a little... You're not going to let me select you? I could try put a... because these have a 10-kilometer range, so that's not... I could put you there. Doesn't interfere with this gun, and I've got... you know, nice firing arc. Center line guns are really nice because they can fire to both sides, don't need as many guns, more tonnage efficient, all that stuff. We have a little bit of tonnage left. I want these barbettes to be a little bit beefier because I really don't want my guns to cook off. Whoops. Because if you look down here, I've got a flash fire chance of holy crap. Yeah, that's not good. I could try going with balisite, and that's better. So this at 10,000 meters is a 4.1 to hit, and at 10,000 meters it's now 4.5. So the cordite's more accurate, but it's got a much higher flash fire chance, which... This is a big ship, it's going to get hit a lot. So we're going to go with the more stable propellant. And our different options... Yeah, I think that these only get worse. Yeah, these only get worse. So, TNT it is. So this is pretty okay. This doesn't leave me with a lot of armor, or a lot of tonnage left for armor. This conning tower is awful. I want more conning tower, which means I need less. I'm not going to get a lot of conning tower. So this is about what we're looking at now. Okay, so now we got it perfectly balanced. So we've met our minimum speed requirements, and we've met our balancing requirements. This is a perfectly balanced ship, which is really important, because that improves your accuracy. I'm not really too worried about getting hit by torpedoes yet, and I don't have the tonnage for anti-torpedo 2, so we're gonna anti-torpedo 1 is gonna be good enough. This is kind of what we're gonna have. I could go with an unbalanced rudder to turn faster and slow down. And if I do have to dodge, this will probably help me dodge a little faster. I got 8 tons left, which isn't really a lot. You know, I can kind of tweak it a little bit. So here's the trick. It's going to be a 17-month refit, and that's no bueno. I would like to have more side guns, but that's not going to really happen. I've got, let's use 1,000 crew. Holy crap! But it's so. What we're going to do is we're going to save the design, and then we're going to refit it a second time. Because for whatever reason, the game only counts the refit time as your most recent refit design. So we're going to go save this if it ever saves. Come on, game. I believe in you. There we go. So now we're going to refit it again. And now it's down to a 2-month refit. But to save it, I have to make a change. So we're going to look at... you know, we'll go make some minor adjustments. We've got good inner belt, good inner deck. So let's just use up some of the... Whoops, too much. There we go. We've used up all of our weight. This is perfect. Abso-freaking-lutely perfect. It's short range, but that's okay. So now we're at a 2-month build time, and that's fine. So we're going to save the design. And now when we go to refit the ship, instead of taking 17 months to build, it'll take 2 months to build. And that'll be very nice. Our guns have good firing arcs. We've got a good enough secondary barrage. But realistically, this guy's job is to kill big honking British battleships that are scary. And I'll have like light cruisers and stuff to patrol and escort it from the small stuff. So it's not really the end of the world. So, and then just to drive the point home, we're going to go into our ship design menu. And we'll just wait a little bit because game's a little slow. Whatever the most recent patch was did speed it up a bit, and I've got piles and piles of enemy ships that I've captured, so that probably doesn't help me very much either. And I've got a couple hundred ships now, so I'm sure that it's having to go through the database. So here's the original Missouri, and then here's the Missouri 2 that I redid. We're going to delete that because we don't need that anymore. Here's the Missouri 3. We're going to go refit the ship. 2 months. And there we go. Booyah. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little kind of tech demo on how you cheese the refits and how you build a really nicely balanced ship. I only learned just recently that you could refit captured enemy ships, so I never used to take enemy ships. And now that I know that you can refit them, I just capture them because that saves me the 20 months of build time to build a brand new battleship. And then if I can refit it in 2 months and make it how I want it, then that is great. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you when I live stream a little later. Thank you and goodbye.